Well, this is another one for the history books. Of course, we've got another record under our belts, and and this is uh, this is something that we really expected, right? We expected
Yeah,
it.
I
Uh,
expected them to get murdered
yeah,
in the exact fashion that they did, at
yeah,
least by 21 points.
pretty
Um,
much.
it's funny to me how we're so thin at the quarterback position, and all you can think about is just hard knocks and how everything and how we got here.
I was thinking about. I was looking, checking my cell phone. I was thinking maybe I'll get the call. They need me to drive up and start at quarterback. That's how desperate they are. They might need to get a fan to be a backup.
Especially if DeVito's concussed. I don't know if that's
Oh
just a
no,
part
he's
of the tank
concussed.
job.
He's concussed.
No, I said
He's
especially
concussed.
if he is. I'm saying like if he's concussed, then they definitely need to find someone. Um, but I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't matter. I mean, if
It's
they
just
didn't
it's
have
adding to
any,
the tank job. So it is.
yeah, yeah, it's adding to it, and that's fine. We don't.
Could they lose a little quicker though? Like just like
Yeah,
15, 20 minutes quicker?
yeah.
At
It's
least it
going a
wasn't
little bit
overtime or
long.
pushing overtime. Last week they tried to force overtime
Right.
on some delusional situation. I don't know what that
It
was
was
about.
delusional. It was
But
delusional.
Dayball looking pissed off, yelling at DeVito, and I I don't know why he's yelling at DeVito like DeVito can do anything. It's not like he was drafted to be a starting quarterback and a franchise quarterback. He's yelling at him like it's gonna do anything. He's yelling at everyone. It's like it's too late for all that.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what Dayball has to say. Nobody cares how angry he is. No one cares that he's pissed
No.
off about the season not going the way it was supposed to.
No.
Nobody cares.
No.
Stephen A. Smith said it himself. Why are we even talking about the Giants? They trash. They're a bag of chips. It's like they're a bag. They are this, ladies and gentlemen, a bag of chips. They're this, and I can't. It's terrible because this is the first game where I've seen Malik Neighbors have almost 100 yards and a touchdown in a very long time, and we drafted him to do that week in and week out. And it's just
Yeah,
you
he
can't run
did,
the
didn't
ball,
he?
you can't pass it, you can't play defense. There's nothing that we could do. In fact, the game was so over. They talked about Justin Tucker for like the last like 2 minutes. They were talking about how he's gotten better at kicking. That is how over the game was. That they had nothing else to talk about, so they went and talked about a kicker for the
Yeah.
Ravens in MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
There was only four
Yeah.
minutes left in the game. The whole low row, the bottom row of stands was empty.
Oh, it was so
Empty.
bad as
5 minutes
far
left
as
in the
like,
game. Empty.
oh my, it was horrible. I mean,
Nobody wants to stay for that. Nope, and I don't blame them.
the
I don't blame them.
majority of the fans in the stands today were really Ravens fans.
Yep.
They probably got really great seats to watch their team.
Yep. Get a free win. Really free, actually.
Really free win. Really free.
And me and my mother are not surprised by any of this. I've been saying since preseason when I looked at the schedule, regardless of what happened from week one to whatever it was before this week, the Ravens are going to kill us. I've been saying it for well over this before the season started. I was like, oh, this schedule is crazy. They got us playing the Ravens after that crazy stretch. Nah. And I told you, I told everybody, throw this schedule away, throw the team away. It's done this year. Just forget about it. Even if we had Saquon, it wasn't going to work. None of
No.
this was going to work. We'd probably have at most two more wins than what we have currently. At most, we'd be four and whatever. So the way I see it, this was expected. We're continuing the tank job to further get ourselves into a better position for a draft pick. Will this draft pick even matter? I don't know. The team is it's so bad. There's no clear cut solution to fixing this problem.
No.
It, it's become an atrocity. It's almost like fans are disgusted to even admit that the Giants fans. It's bad. It's bad. You got people looking at me sideways wearing this hat when I go outside. They're like, "Why are you even?" I'm not wearing any other hat. This is just what I'm wearing, and it's what it is. But like, it's gotten to the point that we're not just a joke anymore. It's sad. It's not even funny. Like we're not even a joke. It's just sad.
It is sad.
It's miserable.
It's
It's
you know what I was thinking. This watching a Giants game is like watching your family dog at the end of the line, ready to pass away, and you're thinking, we have to put him down. Oh, I don't want to put Fido down. I don't want to put him down. And they're like, oh, but we love Fido, but he's hurting, and you have to finally make the decision to put your dog down.
yep.
That's what I think at every game I've been watching the last 9 games. Just want to just put it out of its misery. Just end it early. Can't and I keep saying, isn't there such thing as forfeiting in the NFL? You just forfeit.
I think the
When you get
Giants
to
should forfeit.
uh, just forfeit the rest of the season and just spend that time thinking through strategy and next moves. Why can't we do that? Why is that not an option?
We don't have an actual competent team of leaders. They
No,
were talking about it once again, talking about the importance of leadership, game in and game out. This is what they talk about during the Giants games. They go, "Oh, whatever team it is. For this instance, it's the Ravens." They're like, "Oh, the Ravens. They play better because they want Lamar Jackson to get his wins. They want him to go to the Super Bowl. They galvanize around Lamar Jackson because he's a great leader." One of the players said that Lamar is the best leader they've ever been around. When have the Giants had that outside of Eli Manning and Saquon Barkley? When have the Giants had that in the last 10 years?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like they didn't even want Saquon to be the freaking leader. They wanted it to be the quarterback, which just so happened to be Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones can't lead anyone at
No,
all. So it doesn't make sense to me why I see this frustration coming from Dayball on the field at this point in the season when he's the person that caused all this mess. Him and Joe Shane, they caused this. And it could have easily been alleviated if they had just did the right things with the money that they had left, whatever it was. But they chose to use the money and spend it poorly. They went and got, we'll say, bargains or deals
they
on
got deals.
athletes
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
felt would be a difference maker. But most of the people we brought in aren't even playing starting, aren't even like starting in their position. And a lot of them either are injured or it's just it is what it is. They could be fake injuring. Kadarius Toney let us know that he was faking injury. Who knows who else is doing it on the Giants? When you're a Giants fan and you're watching that team and you're seeing that there's basically almost no starters playing toward the end of the season, you could safely assume at this point that at least somebody up in there is pretending to be injured so they don't have to play anymore, so they can get the hell out of here. Malik Neighbors, I'm telling you, is ready to leave. There are so many people who are ready to go.
Yeah.
So many people are
Um,
ready to go.
and I as a communications subject matter expert, I've mentioned this multiple times this season. I know when that a team is starting to feed statements to people, right? So I heard one of the commentators today say something about Malik Neighbors now talking about how great Dayball really is after a couple of weeks back, about a month ago maybe.
Mm.
Neighbors gave that locker room interview where he was like, basically pointing fingers without pointing fingers, but he alluded to the fact that he felt a lot of the issues were at the top, meaning like Dayball, because it's not basically he was saying it's not the quarterback. We got rid of our quarterback. Now we have somebody else. It's the same old story. So who else is it? But now the messaging from Neighbors is he actually is not. Let me just clarify. Dayball is actually a good coach, and that he is, it encourages them and inspires them. All stuff I think was fed by the PR department at the New York Giants. They're
Oh yeah,
just
they told him to
trying to
say
cover
that.
it
They're
up.
like, yeah, if you say this, yeah, we'll give you the extra money. Yeah. For all we know, because nobody has a good thing to say about Dable.
No,
Stephen A. Smith roasted him a week or two ago and was saying, "What's the problem?" Because Brian Dable was coach of the year 2 seasons ago, and all of a sudden nobody can do anything on that team. And what's going on? Like he addressed it, and he was saying It doesn't make sense for somebody to be coach of the year and then 2 seasons later can't even buy a win. It doesn't. It's a
No.
reflection of not just him, but it's a reflection of the general manager kind of leaving him hanging too. But not to say that Brian Daboll wasn't contributing to Daniel Jones being signed, but when your general manager makes these other office decisions with the money and is not really giving you the right pieces to the puzzle, and then the head coach is still trying to do what he's trying to do, it doesn't work. And especially if the head coach has an ego like Brian Daboll does, he kicks other people out the door. Don Wink Martindale's out. Everyone that was with Wink Martindale's out. Look at the defense. The defense is a shell of its former self. They're still always on the field. They just play worse. You can't make it up. Like there's no team that I can think of that has their defense on the field longer than the New York Giants. I don't know what team his
Those
defense is
guys are
usually out
getting
there.
reps.
They are getting reps. They've got to be the most experienced defense in the NFL in terms of reps. But I don't know any other team with a defense that's on the field like that. And it's hard to build team camaraderie with all the changes, with the fact that nobody really feels they can get behind their leader, which it's not even the quarterback. There's no leader on this team right now. Does any Giants fan realize that?
No.
There's no leader anymore. The
No.
leader was Daniel Jones, but he wasn't even the leader. So even before him, there was no leader. It was Saquon
Right.
Barkley. He left.
But it was like
So
he was like a figurehead. You know,
he
you
was
have
exactly he was a
he
figurehead.
was a figurehead. They don't even have that now.
No, they have nothing. We have no identity. It's not Malik Neighbors. It's certainly not Mr. I'm grumpy and grouchy and want to leave New York. It's not him. It's not
No.
him. And I'm not blaming him for wanting to leave New York. I can feel it.
No,
I can feel the energy. He doesn't
oh
want to
yeah.
be here.
As
He doesn't
soon
want to
as
be
he
here.
can leave, he will leave.
He'll be out.
He
As soon as
deserves
that
he
contract's
deserves
over, there
better.
will be no renegotiations. He'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
And we would have wasted another first round draft pick in the top 10, like 3 seasons in a row.
We have a comment from Michael Holmes. He's in. This is the worst Giants team I've ever seen, he said. Glad the season is almost over. Keep losing and give us good draft picks. Exactly. You know, that's where we're at. And even the commentators, they're calling, I think they called it like tankathon. Now this part of the season's called tankathon. You know, who can lose the most to get the highest draft pick. And that's where we're at, you know. That's
Man,
what
we
we're
were already
doing.
tanking 8 weeks ago. We once you can't win more than 2 games in 5 weeks, tank. That's
Yeah.
honestly what it felt like. Like,
Yeah.
and those first couple of weeks were just so frustrating. It was so frustrating watching Daniel Jones. At least I'm not irritated after watching him play now because it really felt like I was being forced to watch Daniel Jones play football. But now I'm just watching the Giants play high school football. That's what it feels like. The defenses of the other team, they don't really have to worry about too much when we're on offense. When we're on defense, the offense pretty much gets what they want. There's really no issues. I've never really seen an offense struggle against us unless it was like the Cowboys when they were playing really badly against us. But even then,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a bad Cowboys team. Like if they were what they were 2 seasons ago, I'm 100% positive we get blown out like we did last season. Like we're just lucky the Cowboys have fallen that badly. There's no bright or optimistic like move here right now. There's no way to be optimistic. We just have to continue to pray that we lose. Any meaningless wins at the end of the season will not help us or benefit us in any way. I feel defeated as a Giants fan. As
Yeah.
stubborn as
Yeah.
I am, I can't even find the energy to be angry. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm so over it, and I can't wait for this season to be over. Um, Hopefully, I don't have to watch Saquon play in the playoffs for too long because that'll make me sick to my stomach.
Oh,
I'm hoping
that
that the
totally
Eagles are
can
just one
happen.
and done. I hope they come up against the right team that wants to beat them and show them that they ain't really nothing because realistically they aren't. It's just Saquon's really carrying them in situations. We'll see what happens. Their defense is great, of course. Their defense is good, but when it comes to their offense, they've been leaning on Saquon a lot, which you should be, as the Giants did. But we had nothing around Saquon to really help him to make it, what he's doing right now with the Eagles. We've never had that kind of season where he's dominating and we're winning. He would go off and we'd still find a way to lose the game. That's the problem. The Giants don't know how to win. We don't play winning football. We play this is all we've got football.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
feels like. Those 10-yard routes.
Pay on time Canadian Rams fan is in.
How you doing, Pay Time?
Trying to give us some hope. saying things like better days coming. Okay, all right, we can only
We've
hope.
been saying that for
And
10 years.
then congratulations to Tim Boyle, who threw his fifth TD pass of his career since 2019. Yeah, this is what we're left with. You know what? Let me tell you something, Payo Time. Let me tell you something. I've coined, given this Tim Boyle, who's like the guy that nobody. He's like a ghost quarterback, right? So I've decided to. His nickname is Store Brand. He's a store brand quarterback. He's just a, you know, you don't know, you don't. It's like what you think, like what you normally buy. That's a regular brand, but you don't know store brand. That's Tim Boyle, store
So what is
brand
Daniel
quarterback.
Jones? Dollar General?
he was he was definitely Dollar General. He was definitely wow. That's not much of a step up either, is it? Um, but store brand Tim Boyle definitely is. He was trying. I feel bad for the guy because he's not. It's not like he's in a situation where he's coming in and everybody's happy and even the fans are happy. He's just a sucky situation to
Yeah, he
come
walks out
in.
there and people are already talking about boo, boo.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
how do
poor
you
store
play?
brand.
How do you
Store brand
play?
quarterback. And then you've got Drew Lock, who literally they said was wearing a boot like over the last 24 hours on one of his legs. So but he's the emergency backup, even though he actually is hurt. I mean, this is it's just bad. We have some more comments. Payo Time says Aubrey Pleasant is the Rams assistant head coach and could see him being a good hire by a team. Okay, so you're trying to, maybe, but I don't know. The Mara family, I believe they're still saying they're sticking with who they have, which
No,
I'm
no, no
hoping
surprise.
is
No
is
surprise.
conjecture. I hope that's just trying to keep people happy while they're still in season, and then put slam the axe down right after the final game.
How we talk about
June
happiness? We lose 9 games in a row. Just tell us
June,
what's the real what it is.
right, exactly. June Roman the third is in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. June Roman the third was at church. Let's go number one pick. We are in an empty tank with dead fish. And June says I'm in stagnant water, and says come on Cam Ward. Cam Ward is on the way. Well, again, the Giants, current Giants front office decision makers, they look for the diamond in the rough quarterbacks, right, for the last
Don't be
few
surprised if Cam Ward's not
drafts.
picked.
Right, exactly. Because he's a guy that other teams are looking at. The Giants team seem to look at guys that no one else is really paying attention to. Yes, they had a good season or whatever, but they're not supposed to be in the top 10 or whatever it is. But like a Daniel Jones, they come up with some sort of a harebrained scheme that they're going to bring this guy in because he gets, endorsed by the Manning family, whatever. But I don't believe they're going to go after anybody who
No.
right now other teams would be looking at, like the Jets, because I
And
think
if
the
they do get
Jets
him,
is and we're in for
what
that
do we do?
that number one spot. I think the Jets is our competitor right now. I think in the draft, I believe so. Unless
The Jets, why? Why? They have
they
Aaron
definitely
Rodgers and
no,
they're
they
still
need
in
to
the
move on from him too.
contention.
They've got their that's a whole other story. But I think that's
I
more
know he's
really in
old and
competition.
he's needs to retire. I understand all of that.
Payo Time is
It doesn't make
asking, would
sense.
would you want Sam Darnold as your QB next season? No, no. We
I'm gonna let you know right
need
now. I'm gonna need blood pressure medication if that happens. I'm
and
gonna let
Sam
you know right now.
and God bless Sam Darnold for doing what he's doing, right? But he has been a journeyman quarterback pretty much. We don't need anything like that. Could it work out? Maybe. But at this point, we need a fresh start with someone who
Again,
is ready to play and who is not going to feel the pressures of having been on multiple NFL teams and having to prove himself from that perspective. At least when you're a rookie, all you have to do is just prove that you're supposed to be there in general. You don't have to prove that it wasn't that you just haven't been passed around for nothing. It's just a lot of pressure, and we just need to shape and build our our offense starting with a brand new, fresh out of college, ready to make a name for himself quarterback. And who that is, I don't know. We can talk about who we want it to be all we want. But again, if it's the same decision makers we've had for the last several drafts, I don't expect it to be someone that other teams would naturally be looking at as far as quarterback.
And if Dayball is coaching them, I don't trust it.
Right.
You can say whatever you want about him and Josh Allen on the Bills. I don't care. That is Josh Allen. That is somebody who clearly was supposed to be in the NFL and be a franchise quarterback. Look at Daniel Jones. Just look at it. I'm not going to mention the record. I'm not. But look at Daniel Jones and look at Dayball and look at their record together. I'm not even going to say it. Just you guys know what the record is. It's terrible. It's atrocious. It's got like a 30% win rate. If that is what Dayball coached, what's stopping him from having the same results with a rookie quarterback with no experience and no offensive line, a bottom 5 offensive line? I don't care that we didn't have 80 sacks this season. You know how hard it is to get that many? You know how hard it is to be that bad? That was an anomaly. That wasn't supposed to happen. The last time that's happened was over a decade ago. That should never happen. Your offensive line shouldn't be giving up 6 to 8 sacks a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's a dang basketball game trying to get 10 sacks a game. Like I don't understand. Like that should not happen. So you can bring whatever quarterback you want. If the line is the same, head coach is still making the play calls and is still coaching the quarterbacks, Joe Shane is still making the decisions, ain't nothing gonna change. Joe Shane's got to go. Dayball's got to go. That whole coaching staff has to go. Everybody they brought in has to go. Anyone doing the draft selections has to go. As far as I'm concerned, the only people that should be showing up is the athletes. They're the only ones that really get away from this all because they don't make any offensive decisions. They don't do any of that. They are being if anything, I feel bad for the Giants players because they are kind of forced into this situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have no voice, no locker room, no
Yeah.
real team camaraderie. Everybody feels like the season's over. I mean, everyone felt that way at the beginning of the season. When Saquon walked out, I promise you that whole team felt awful and they just didn't know what to expect for this season. When you have that much uncertainty around your team, it is impossible to have a goal and be a unit and actually work together. That it just doesn't work. And like my mom said, we could do whatever we want, try to get whoever we want in the draft. It won't really make a difference unless people in the front office are God.
Yeah.
I agree with
It's
my
such
mom.
a
There's no way they've had almost a quarter of the time that Daniel Jones had on this damn team, and it's already terrible. They've been here for 2 out of the 6 years with Daniel Jones. Look how bad we are now. It's been 2 years.
yeah.
It's been two
Yeah.
seasons. This is easily worse than anything Dave Gettleman did. When's the last time we had only 2 wins in a season with Dave Gettleman? When?
All right. When the sun starts to mention Dave Gettleman in some sort of positive light, that's when you know it's good.
I don't think people understand how much I hate Dave Gettleman. I don't think people understand. I've
Pretty
never
bad. He
seen
hated.
him
Yeah.
finish a season with 2 wins. As bad as it was. We at least had 5. 2, there's bad, and then there's just straight awful. We're
Yeah.
there right now. Like
Yeah.
there's no like I've been saying, I have no clue how you fix this problem. The
Yeah.
problem has become too colossal at this point to even have a theory on what you could do to this team. Sell
Well,
it
Michael Holmes
is the only
says,
option I have.
going back to the whole Sam Darnold question earlier, but Michael Holmes commented on that. He says maybe we need a veteran QB until a QB pick comes through. We seem to always get it wrong lately. Well,
Isn't Daniel Jones a
that's
veteran quarterback? 6
yeah,
seasons?
I mean, we have Drew Lock. He's definitely a veteran
Oh yeah, Drew Lock. I
quarterback.
forgot about his bum ass.
Yeah, we've got
I
him.
got him. We had Tyrod Taylor
Uh,
last season. Bum.
no, this is true.
DeVito's been in the league for several seasons. Wouldn't that make him a veteran at this point?
It's now 2 seasons though. His is
You
his
could put
second
anybody
season.
you
His
listen.
is
You
longer.
could take Cam Newton from 2015. 2015 Cam Newton. You could put him on this team right now. We have the same results. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no way in any universe that any quarterback can come into this team where it is right now and get us wins. Who's Cam?
Yeah.
If we had Cam Newton from 2015, Cam Newton, right? You could let's just say he actually still was in the league and he was still in his prime. Who was he throwing the ball to other than Malik Neighbors? That's it, right? If he has 2 seconds to make a read, and he decides to run, but the whole pocket is collapsed. Where is he running? What tight end does he have to throw to?
It's true.
I, who's the running back? Oh, that's right. It's Devin Singletary. So what do we do with
Well, we
that?
have Tracy. We have Tyrone
That's a
Tracy.
rookie. I don't want no rookie to be the one putting this team on his back
He's actually has shown the most promise this season, though. He
because
has.
everyone looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that when you have receivers that get under 100 yards a game every game.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that. You realize again, Malik Neighbors. I can't remember the last time I saw him have 10 catches in a game this season. He had 10 catches this game today. That usually doesn't happen because Daniel Jones can't throw the damn ball. And then you got DeVito up there. You got Drew Lock up there. You got people that weren't supposed to be starters being starting quarterbacks now. It's a joke. It's a joke. There's no production. There's no
No.
fervor. There's no passion. The fans look deflated at the beginning of the game before we're even losing. Like it's so bad. Like and then when we're losing, they all just look like they're ready to cry. It don't even look right.
Oh, it's sad. But let me just say this. This is one of the first seasons since I've been watching football, which is for decades I've been watching, right? Where we're seeing some of the star athletes leaving the games early, third quarter, fourth quarter, walking away,
Yep.
going into the locker room.
They're checking out mentally. They checked out.
They're checking. They're just like they're done. They don't
They
even
checked out.
care. They're just like, you know what? I'm done. When that team, whatever it is, whoever they are, is losing, and they're not doing what that individual believes that they should be doing, they're walking out. I mean, and we haven't seen Giants players do that. I wish they would because that definitely would make a bigger statement
They
than
just
just
go
saying
on strike.
having pissy remarks in locker room media interviews, right? I think walking out on a third quarter or on a fourth quarter, I think that's definitely says a lot more
Which
when you
reminds
do
me,
that.
you just triggered my memory. Evan Neal, we still eating burgers and hot dogs? We still making them? We still do that? Because your ass got benched and you got a starting job because somebody got hurt.
100%.
You about to be making them burgers and hot dogs soon, brother. Get ready. Because you suck. I'm gonna straight up, you're terrible. One of the worst first round top 10 draft picks at the offensive lineman position, in my opinion, in NFL history. Because you were supposed to be that dude. And then you go and make a statement, talk about most of these fans out here make burgers and hot dogs. And then you gonna get benched and then be on a team with 2 wins. Good job, Evan Neal.
June Roman the third
Good
says
job.
the three of us, June Roman, you and me, son, can block better than the offensive line of the
Absolutely.
Giants.
Absolutely.
And June says I'm 44 with 4 kids in a bag.
Put me out there. I will go for a cut block every time. I will just put my helmet into somebody's kneecap and go for a cut block. I guarantee you it'll do a better job than any of these fools out there. It looks like they just stand up and just move to the side. The pressure gets to the backfield so quickly. Like, I remember when Daniel Jones would be like, set hut, he'd be in this position, and there's already somebody within a foot of him ready to take his head off. Like, what quarterback can play under that?
Not many.
I as big as Cam Newton is, he's still gonna get hit by 2 or 3 people at once in that situation. He's gonna get taken out. There's no quarterback that can play. Mahomes can't do it. Lamar Jackson can't do it. Josh Allen can't do it. If Aaron Rodgers was with us, he'd be paralyzed by now. There's no way anybody could play football on this team as a quarterback. No,
No.
none. I I can't I can't even stress or even make up another reason on how bad this team is. Like I've been trying so hard to come up with these crazy analogies. I've used all of them. There's no other way to explain how bad the Giants are other than just look at their last 3 seasons and look how many wins they have in total. And then you'll realize that 80% of those wins came from one season that we had the weakest schedule in a long time, and we made it into the playoffs on a wild card. That's what
Yeah,
most
and
of
that
our wins
wasn't
came
yeah,
from
that
that
we didn't
season.
really earn
No,
that.
we
You're
did not.
right.
No.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, you're right.
practically we were spoon fed that. They're like, you guys get like a charity playoff appearance. Here you go. A weak schedule. Imagine if we had that schedule this season. Would the record still be 2 and whatever it is? Probably. But that just shows how bad the team is because that was an easy schedule. and we still had Saquon on it, and we still couldn't get a positive record. I can't remember the last time the Giants had a positive record.
Yeah,
When was
it's been
that?
a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
When was that? Even when we won the Super Bowl in 2007, 2008, we got it on a wild card. What, did we ever have a winning record? From I don't recall. I don't recall seeing an above 500 record ever at the end of a season. I've been watching this team for 25 years. I can't remember the last time that's happened, but it never occurred to me until just now because we've been losing so many games. It's like, wait a second, have we ever gone above 500 in the last 2 decades? You'd have to go to Google and find that out. Somebody in the comment section, please find that for me because I'm not wasting my time searching it. If I'm probably going to be disturbed if I look it up. But like my mom said, and like the commentators said, this is the first time in our franchise history in a long time that we lost 9 straight. 9 straight. That's like 3 months of football, guys. We've been losing for 3 months straight.
Yeah, a tied record, and then this Giants team, this 2024 100-year celebration team, will break the record if they win this next game.
You can't make that up.
Can't make that up. They will break the record of being the most losing Giants team in franchise history.
You got to just laugh. You
Next
just got to
week.
laugh because there's nothing else. If you get mad, all you're doing is wasting energy.
Yeah.
You just got to laugh that off. That's crazy. The 100 years, the 100 years of our existence, guys, will be remembered as breaking our losing streak of 10 straight if we lose next week. That is how the Giants will celebrate their 100th season. By breaking a record for losing.
Has anyone noticed that the Giants' fancy 100-year celebration uniforms, they were worn, I think, once, and they haven't really reared their ugly heads. I didn't like them anyway. But I don't,
bad.
they're not, and also if you look at the stadium, it's not really, the field, nothing is really kind of celebratory anymore. There's
It's
no
just
reason
pain and misery.
Yeah, pain and misery.
If anybody here watches anime, I'm gonna make an anime reference right now from Naruto. You shall all know true pain by the end of this season. If anybody knows what that's from, you're goated. Put it down in the comments for me, please. Please tell me you know what that's from. It's like a top 2, top 3 anime of all time. You know what it is. It's a shonen. There's a villain that talks about pain, and every time we lose, I think about that villain, and I'm just like, I know what true pain feels like. This is pain. This is actually pain. I can't even defend the Giants with pride. When somebody says we suck, I'm just like, yep, you're right. What do I say? We don't have Saquon. What do I say?
Michael Holmes says until they address the OL, the CB, the S, all those roles on the team, we will have problems. Players are walking off new age football, very disrespectful to your team. It is disrespectful, but I understand where they're coming from.
You know who walked off?
Done that.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady walked off when he lost in the Super Bowl. Nobody said shit to him. LeBron James walked out when they got eliminated in the playoffs in the first round. Nobody said shit to him. I'm okay with these athletes walking out. It's a statement. LeBron made a statement when he walked out off of that court. The game wasn't even over. There was 7 minutes left. You could look it up, chat. I forget what team they were playing against. It may have been the Mavericks, whoever it was. They were losing with 8 minutes left. LeBron walked off the court and went to the back for the rest of that game. And the Lakers got eliminated. That was a statement. He said, I'm done. If y'all ain't going to do anything about this team, I'm just going to walk out. I ain't even going to finish the rest of this game. And what did they do? They went and they got more help. And they still ain't win. This is just the Giants situation. Same thing. They go out, they get more people, they recruit them. We don't win. It's been like that for the last 10 years. I'm okay with these players walking out. Enough is enough. Every year you go out there, you recruit half a new locker room of people. Coaching staff, athletes included. And then we come back out and lose more games than we did the season before. How? If I was on that team right now, I'm walking out. I'm going to walk out. Nah, especially if I'm balling out too and we still can't win, I'm walking out. I don't care. Fire me. Somebody will pick me up, and I'll be on the team that has a better chance of winning. I don't want to be on that team no more if I'm a Giants player. I don't. I would be ready to go. I would sit there, pretend I got injured, say I had a sprained ankle, and just finish the rest of the season and write it out.
Which is what's happening. I mean,
I would just write it out.
yeah, that's definitely going on right now. I
Why
believe
play
that
and get injured?
100%. That's why we're seeing I think Tiki Barber said it best, today was like, the Giants are at the end of the depth chart at this point because there's so many of the starting and then even the backups, and then everybody's either hurt or pretending to be hurt. And so they've had to, they're going to scout team type situation where bringing guys up from God knows where, signing guys who are on the sofa one day and then playing at the MetLife Stadium the next. June says, June gave up the mind and can't take it anymore. Too much stress is involved with dealing with this Giants and has now accepted the losses. And there's no fight left in the players. There is no fight. Why? What are you fighting for? You know? June commented that Micah Parsons walked last week. Yes, but there's been like 3 other players. I think
Micah Parsons is a prima donna, though.
Yeah,
He's
Kelsey
dramatic.
walked out not during a quarter, but when that one game that they that they lost so far, Kelsey walked out and didn't do the interviews.
Oh, he got fined for that.
He just,
he definitely took
everybody was rushing out onto the field, and Kelsey just went. He went in the locker room. No,
he took a fine.
Field interviews.
You get fined for that. That was like a $20,000 fine.
That was either a Monday night or Sunday night football game too.
Okay,
that was one of the That was I can't remember which one, but yeah. So there's a bunch of players have done it. More than usual. Normally doesn't even happen. It says a lot. And yes, you can have these pissy interviews if you want as a Giants player, but I do think it's time to and you can pretend to be hurt. That's been done before, but I think that something
just
more
don't tell us you
needs to
pretended.
happen. Right? Just
Don't be like Kadarius Toney. Don't be ignorant. Yeah, no, I wasn't even actually hurt for those 8 weeks.
I was just trying to get cut so I could be somewhere else. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And now your ass is on the couch. Good job, Tony.
He's playing for the he's on is it the Browns? Yeah, I think
that don't matter. It's the Browns, and they don't even have a quarterback. They just as screwed up as we are.
Yeah, well,
that don't matter. He ain't playing for nobody, Chad. He ain't playing for nobody. That don't count.
No,
he could be playing for us again. He still ain't playing for nobody. Right. That's all right.
Yeah, and he's making mistakes again too. But let's not get.
Of course he is.
But reality is, they're not. Obviously they can't say they're tanking, but that's what's happening. The Giants.
We can't even say we tanking. We suck so much. We just losing. We just losing. Right. You can't call it tanking when you've been playing like this for season. Like, I want to call it a tank job because it's my way of copium. But like, if we just take the copium out of it, it is not tanking. This is just us sucking and just us being bad. The team gave up. That's what it feels like. We gave up, which could be viewed as tanking. But I'm going to put the narrative that they all folded and gave up. And the icing on the cake was the icing on the cake was Saquon not coming back. The cherry on top was kicking Daniel Jones out. That was the cherry on top because you forced us to play with this fool. You force him to be on the practice squad as the 4th string safety, not quarterback. And then he asks to be released and now goes to a championship contending team. That all sounds insane. It all sounds insane. We went from picking a 1st round draft pick, number 6 quarterback who was not supposed to be there, who was supposed to be 5th or 6th. Mm-hmm. Fast forward 6 seasons later, after 6 failures, we get rid of the franchise quarterback that we got at number 2 overall, or running back, not quarterback, running back that we got at number 2 overall. He goes to a team, not just any team, our rival, our division rival, thrives, is in a really good contention to be the MVP this season. And then we let go of the person we didn't only overpay, we put way too much unmitigated faith in. And because he fails, we bench him and punish him. no athlete on that team is going to play properly until everything that was involved with the name Daniel Jones, Brian Dayball, and Joe Shane is gone. There is no way that this team can recover from this until everyone involved with those three names, including Dayball and Shane, because they were involved with Daniel Jones, they all got to go. All of them.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Mara, I hope you like money because you should sell the damn team. I don't. If you like money, you should sell this team because the way that you're running it right now, you don't look like a businessman. You don't look like you know what you're doing. You lost your authority somehow. You let Joe Shane do everything for you and create this circus act. This is Cirque du Soleil, chat. We are in Cirque du Soleil. Forget about just a
Oh
circus act. This
wow.
is Cirque du Soleil. We are
It's
at that.
fancy
We
circus.
are that type. It is that bad. It's
You
so
know,
bad because
Tiki Barber was telling the story today because that was the most important thing. Information I got was from the commentators today because the game sucked so bad. So I was paying
ugh,
attention a lot to what they were saying. And Tiki mentioned that when he was on the team, there was only really one time that Wellington Mara, the Mara before John was Wellington, came and spoke to the team in person. He rarely did it, but came to a practice and the team was not doing well and he made his presence known and he basically gave them a pep talk. It was like, this has things have to change, you've got to do better, this we can't continue down this path. And because he never ever showed up to practices, never did anything like that, he said it did make a difference in the attitude of the players because they're like, wow, the owner came and he never comes to practice, he never comes to see us, and he's letting us know that he sees us and that we suck and we have to do better. And so that type of moment, I don't know what that moment would be. But of course, as the son mentioned earlier, the moments that we have of John Mara are now him hoping and praying that Saquon, wondering if, well, first let's start with wondering if Saquon could get picked up by someone else, if he was worthy of being picked up by another team, and then saying that he would lose sleep if he went to the Eagles or something like that. So just stupidity, beyond stupidity. That's what we got from John Mara. So yeah, where do we go from here? Again, we keep saying it. I feel like, it's just over and over and over the same message, but the message is we need more leadership.
yeah.
We need a change in leadership, and we need people at the top that a team wants to play for, that they feel good about. And we don't have that right now, and it's not going to change. I just want to acknowledge Anthony Corcoran in the chat. Anthony says, I don't think the Giants will fire Dayball for the simple fact that he's still paying off our previous coaching staff. And that probably is the case because just like there's been quarterback mistakes, there's been plenty of coaching staff mistakes, and some mistakes, meaning not all of them have been mistakes of we didn't hire the right people. Sometimes they hired the right coordinators, but not the right head coach. And then the coordinators we had to go. We had Spags for a while. Spags is great. Spags is like amazing. He's brought the
And he's on the Chiefs, I
Kansas
think.
City Chiefs to yeah. He's amazing. He does such a great job on the Chiefs. I love seeing him on the sidelines for them. He's so animated. His wife makes pasta for the team. I mean, he's all in. All right. We lost him because he did linger on after Coughlin, but it just we are the rebuild of this team, the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild. That's where we are.
It's
And
wild to think
and the
about that.
fact that the Mara family has just kicking out money for individuals who are no longer part of the team. They're still paying, trying to do that. I mean, I mentioned in a previous show that the licensing is not making money for the Giants. And I know this for sure now because I got an email. And if you are on the Giants email, if you go to Giants games and you're in the area of the MetLife Stadium, you may have gotten an email over the last few days that was offering for fans to come to the stadium. They were going to open up the Giants flagship store, no game on a Saturday, right? Come on yesterday, a Saturday, come and you were going to get major discounts on all the Giants stuff that you wanted. I've never seen that, okay? I've never seen the Giants organization invite fans to come to the stadium when there's no game to go into the flagship store for discounts and deals. That's how bad it is.
That screams
They're trying.
desperation.
That's desperation. And it didn't say happy holidays. It really was just like instead of them just, they should. I wish they had just said, you know what, we're not selling this crap. Please come and take it off our hands for 50% off or whatever they were offering. It was bad. I've never seen that, and I don't know how many people went. I would love if someone showed up to that and could tell me if it was busy in there, but I imagine it wasn't
I
because
hope it wasn't. They don't deserve it.
if the fans aren't going to the games, they're certainly not getting using a Saturday to schlep all the way to the MetLife Stadium in Rutherford, New Jersey, just to go to the flagship Giants store to get some discounts. I
If they were
wouldn't
smart, they
dare
would
to
have did it
do it.
online. But no,
I wouldn't have gone if I lived around the corner. I mean, because it's
me
just not
either.
worth my cash right now.
No.
So this team has lost a lot of money over the last few seasons. They continue to try to do something and make money, and they can't, and they're losing money. They lost a ton, millions, with Daniel Jones, and because it was
And
just a poor
Saquon, just think about
investment.
how many jersey sales they've lost since Saquon's been gone.
Yes,
Think about how many
100%.
jersey sales of current
Right.
players.
To save $5 million, they lost him because that's the difference between what they paid Drew. I'm hearing what they were going to pay Saquon if he had if he got him to stay versus what they would have paid, what they actually paid Drew Lock. There's a $5 million difference. So they gave that $5 million to Drew Lock plus whatever he got, and
Look at that value.
let
Look where it got
let
us.
let
Look where it
Saquon
got
go.
us.
Yeah, let Saquon go. So they had the money, but they didn't want to invest it in Saquon. They're just idiots. They're just a bunch of schmucks. I'm just over talking about them. Just another week of expected disappointment.
Joe Shane, you better start asking your son for advice because you need help.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Ask your son's friends for advice
right. Because
on how to fix the
that's how
team.
he rolls. That's how he rolls. Michael Holmes said, "No Giants gear for me this Christmas." See, June June Roman III said, "It is so sad that someone would spend money to get this dumpster fire fixed. Must be a season ticket holder." Well, yeah, I mean, the season ticket holders, I think also they've been selling a lot of their tickets. That's why they were so
Trying to
many
get some of their
Ravens
money back.
fans. Yeah, they've definitely been flipping their tickets because you can buy, you buy them on the ticket exchange, whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. I haven't been on there in over a year because I'm not interested in going to a game. But they go on there and they sell, and that's why we're seeing so many of the competitors, the opposing teams, um, fans in the stands because they're getting these like really good. They're getting good seats, although they're sitting in the cold, for
They don't care. They're happy the
bargain
team winning.
basement pricing. It's not that big of a deal to hop on an
No.
Amtrak to come to go, and it's easy to get to the stadium on the train because there's a train that goes right into the MetLife parking lot. The son and I use it all the time. So that's what happened. A lot of these Baltimore fans, if they weren't already here in Jersey or New York, they took a train in. It was nothing, especially if they got really cheap tickets, tickets for like 30, 40, $50. Why not? You know, it's just a train. It's literally a train wreck.
It is. And the fact that you need to make a promotion to have people come in on a Saturday, like you said, to buy items, just
I've never seen it. I've never seen them promote opening the flagship store at the MetLife for fans on a non-game day. I've never seen it. And I
someone's got
believe
to pay
pretty
for
much
these
all
missing monies funds.
right, right, right.
It's got to
They
be
have
somebody
to
getting
unload.
fired.
Right. The fans are not buying them. First of all, there's not enough fans in the stadium to go into the store and buy stuff. They know
Right.
that. So they have to invite them to come on an off day, no game day, to come to the flagship store at the stadium to buy. I've never seen anything like that, and I read most of the Giants emails that I get. So, yeah, desperation at its best.
Crazy.
Desperation.
I
All
just
right,
I can't.
son. I know we didn't even tease the subscribing and all that. We didn't do that. We just got right into it. But you know what you got to do. Go ahead, son. Tell them, son.
Please like and subscribe, guys. We've been put through a lot of emotional stress. It would really help us out if you would hit us with a subscribe and a like. They're both free. You can help the family grow. We're still on that road to 1,000. Help us get there a little closer. It takes you two
Tell
seconds.
your friends. Tell your friends. Share the link and tell them You've got to subscribe. These are great New Giants fans, and they keep it all the way 100. We're not here to try to make people feel good about the Giants. There's nothing to feel
No,
good about.
nothing to feel good
Nothing.
about at all. Except next season. That's about it. Just to get rid of this misery. And
Yeah.
just not even next season, the off season. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that'll make me feel good. Just forget about football. This even happened. So we'll let you know how we feel about that 10-game losing streak when it happens next week, because it's gonna happen. I think we play the Eagles again. Hold on.
No,
No,
it's
not
the
the Eagles.
Falcons. I
The
pulled it up. It's
Falcons?
the
Yeah,
Falcons. Yeah.
some bird team that's gonna beat the crap out of us. It's fine. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So
Another lovely 1 o'clock game.
if we lose this game, at least lose it quickly, Giants. Don't try to do
Yeah.
no overtime bull crap like you did a week
No
ago.
overtime.
Lose like you did
No eight
today.
minute drives. We don't need 8 minute
No,
drives
eight
because we
minute
had an
drives for
eight
three
minute drive
points.
today. Yes, it was torture. The 8 minute drive.
Just send it. Just go out there, do what you got to do to lose the game quicker. It's literally like Homer Simpson said, "Come on, hurry up and lose so we can go home already." That is how y'all should be playing for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
but that's it. We have to see you guys next week. I couldn't tell
Share
you
the
what
replay
I
with a
think about it.
friend. Yep.
Say that again.
I said share the replay with a friend.
Yes, please, please. And drop comments in the vibe when this is done, please.
We
Let us know what you
invite
think.
all, if you know any Baltimore fans, let them know about this, and we'd love to hear their comments and
Yeah,
what they thought about the game too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, everybody. Take care. And the Giants
Bye,
suck.
everybody. All right, we're off.
Jesus, that was. It
We
felt
didn't
good
have that
talking
many
trash
people.
about them.